Ladies and gentlemen, they have returned. Thank you for tuning into Team Friends YouTube page. This is Eric the Cyborg coming with you with a brand new deck profile, straight fresh out of a new structure deck. It's the brand new Shaddoll support for Shaddolls. I currently did the pure version of the Shaddoll deck. We also have Andrew working on the different version, which will be posted on the channel later. But right now, this is the pure version, where it's just pure Shaddoll stuff and everything else like that. So anyway, let's get into it, boys. So start off with the brand new ones. 3 of Shaddoll Wendy. When she is flipped, let me actually read this because I don't really remember. When she is flipped, you can special summon 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position, except for herself. And then when she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, it's pretty much the same thing as her flip effects, except it's almost a monster face down only. And it can't be yourself, and you can only use 1 of these effects per turn. She's also a level 3 psychic, which I will show a card that I'm running to bring her out faster. Which brings her out faster. For the new other ones, I'm only running one aerial. When she is flipped, you target 1 of your banished Shaddoll monsters and summon it in face up and or face down defense position. And then when she is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target up to 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard and banish them. So she can help get rid of pesky cards in your opponent's graveyard that'll go against you in every way possible. So I might eventually put her up to 2 because I just need to find 1 more spot for a second one of her. But right now I'm testing it at 1. I think I'll probably put in a second copy of her. Onto the regular Shaddolls. 2 Shaddoll Beast. For those who don't know what it does, when it is flipped, you draw 2 cards and discard 1. And when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you draw a card. Woo! Draw power. Draw. 2 Squamata. When this is flipped, you target 1 monster in the field and destroy it. And when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to add. No, you send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's also a Foolish Burial when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect. 2 of Shaddoll the Hedgehog, or Shaddoll Hedgehog. When he is flipped, you get to add 1 Shaddoll spell or trap card to your hand. When it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hands. I hope I didn't mix those up. I'm good. All right. So 2 Hedgehog. 1 Falco, because only running 1 because he can just set himself automatically to the field. You could argue running 2, but like I said, I'm testing it out. I'm gonna fix up things here and there, but for those who don't know what it does, flip. You target a Shaddoll monster in your graveyard and summon it face down. And when Falco itself is sent to the graveyard while it's faced by a card effect, you set itself back face down. So he'll always. So either way, he's putting something face down. And then 1 Dragon. When it's flipped, you target 1 card that your opponent controls and destroy. You return it back to the hand. When it's sent to the graveyard by card effects, you do the same thing except for spells and traps, and you destroy them instead. So removal and destruction. That's it for the Shaddolls. Onto the support monsters. 3 of Old Man Math. when he is normal summon, you send one level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. And when he is destroyed by battle, you draw a card. 90% of the time, he's not going to be dying by battle. For your lights, I'm running a small performance engine of Trick Clown and Damage Juggler. Like I said, I'm testing ratios of everything. I might put them up more. I might add in a hat trigger for a free summon. But yeah, hat trigger, when he sent to the graveyard, pay 1,000 to summon himself back up from the grave. That's once per turn. Damage Juggler, when you get deal damage, you discard it from your hands to take nothing. And then you can banish him from your graveyard to add a performance monster from your deck to your hand. So you can send him to the graveyard through Shaddoll Fusion, banish him to add the Trick Clown to your hand for the other fusion spell. And then hand traps 3 Ash Blossom because it's a generic stopper. She stops pretty much anything. Not anything, but you know what I mean, people. Onto the spells. Can't be Shaddolls without 3 Shaddoll fusions. It's a fusion summon from hand or fields. That's in general. If your opponent controls a monster that was summoned from the extra deck, you can use monsters from your deck as fusion materials for a fusion summon for a Shaddoll fusion monster. So this is great going second. Run 3 because you have to run 3. Same thing for L Shaddoll Fusion. Is a quick play fusion spell. Pretty much just go for the OTK. It's the same thing as Shaddoll Fusion. You use monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials for a Shaddoll Fusion monster. Triple, be gone, demon children. Not child, but children, because there's multiples of them. Just to stop the hand traps going against you and all that other stuff. Double Super Poly. Only running 2 because I think 3 is too much of a brick. But I might change it up eventually in the future, but we'll see what happens from there. Now for the one of Pot of Avarice, because we can have nicer things. And it works really well with this deck because you just recycle back all your Shaddoll monsters, and you'd be like, oh, do all my stuff again, and again, and again. Foolish Burial, because you want to send your Shaddoll monsters to your graveyard to get their additional effects. And then 1 emergency teleport for the Wendy summon. It's just a free extension summon if you choose to do so. You don't have to run E-Telly, but it's just personal preference for me. Onto the traps. Here's the new one. Rush Shaddoll Incarnation. On the field, you activate it to target 1 Shaddoll monster in your graveyard and summon it face up or face down defense position. And its graveyard effect is probably better hands down because you banish it along with another Shaddoll monster to target one monster on your side of the field, and depending on its position, you do different things. If you target a face down defense position monster, you flip it face up, and if you target a face up monster on your field, you put it face down. So this helps trigger off your flip effects during your opponent's turn, and helps with the disruptions. Might eventually run 3, but testing everything, you know. 1 Shaddoll core. I think you only need 1. He can pretty much substitute himself for any fusion, for any attribute fusion material monster for a Shaddoll fusion. And when sent to the graveyard by card effects, you add a Shaddoll spell or trap card from your deck to your grave. And then 3 impermanents, because why not? It's good. Extra deck. Link monsters, 1 gravity controller. Running him because if you're going first, you will bring out the fusions. It's like, okay, you summon any of the fusions like constructs. Should all fusion the construct out, get your effects, link into a gravity controller, and you have a free zone given to you already. The only downside is that he can't be used for a link summon the turn he's link summoned. But his other effect is that he cannot be destroyed by battle by a monster that's in the main monster zone. And if he battles a monster that's in the extra monster zone, he is a Grand Mole. He bounces himself and the battling monster to his hand. Or back to the deck, which is better, to be quite honest. You only link when you're running. Link 2s, 1 Masquerena for link summoning during your opponent's turn, and 1 Cross Sheep. You have to run this card. I can't stress it enough that you have to run a sheep. Anyway, you only use it for its fusion effects, which is a Monster Reborn, which is broken. When you summon a fusion monster to where it points to, you summon a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Other thing too is the Shaddoll constructs. It counts as a fusion spell while it's on the field, and if it's in the graveyard, you can discard a Shaddoll card from your hands to summon it back up from the graveyard, which opens more zones to you in the main. Then run the Nightmare Unicorn for the Masquerena to disrupt during the opponent's turn. And then same thing for Boral Sword. To summon Boral Sword during your opponent's turn. Because summoning a Boral Sword that can't be destroyed by battle and card effects is nuts. On to the fusions. Serial party target, 1 Mud Dragon. Don't really need to go into much detail about him at all. Double Winda. Everyone should practically know what it does, but for those who don't know what it does, each player can only special summon monsters once per turn, and this is for all the Shaddoll monsters when they're sent, or the Shaddoll fusion monsters when they're sent to the graveyard. You get to add back one Shaddoll spell or trap card from your graveyard back to your hand. So you pretty much recycle back your fusion spells with the fusions. One of the brand new one, App Cologne. So with this one needs 2 Shaddoll monsters with different attributes, which is pretty easy with the new support now. Because Wendy's a wind, Ariel's a water, so you pretty much already have your stuff there. What this does is that its first effect, or its primary effects, is that you target 1 card in the field and negate its effects. And that is a permanent negation. That card is forever negated. That is unless you put it face down and then put it face up again, then it has its effect again. And then same Shaddoll fusion monster effect when it's sent to the graveyard at a Shaddoll spell attack. Krista, also a target for Super Poly against Salamangreats, because fire. What he does is that he is a Solemn. When a monster would be special summoned from the extra deck, you can... Is it from extra deck or just general? Oh, just in general. Alright, that's even better. You basically just discard a Shaddoll card from your hand to the grave to negate the summon. It's a Solemn, basically. It doesn't really matter to me at all. And then same Shaddoll fusion effects. 2 constructs. Ooh. We can have 3 of her, but 3 is too much, I think, in my opinion. So for those who really don't know what this does, When she is summoned, you send one Shaddoll card from your deck to the grave. Simple as that, right? When she battles a monster that was summoned from the extra deck, you immediately kill that monster. Unless it's a monster that can't be destroyed by card effects. Unless it's a monster that can't be destroyed by card effects, then rip. Then same shit all effects. So if I target Starring Venom, 2 darks, your deck's dark, the mirror match is dark, dark's everywhere. And then Shikanaga for your spell trap negates. The only Earth monster you're running is of course the Mathematician, but you can also just super poly it out too with your opponent probably running like trains or whatever the hell Earth decks are going on nowadays. That's usually quickly over to the side deck. Still working on the side deck right now, so right now I just have 3 Nibirus.
Oh my god, a giant rock!
Yes, it's a giant rock. 3 Drolls for the Spiral matchup. 3 Dark Rulers. Right now, 2 Lightning Storms.
This madman.
Hey, I pulled one from a pack, and they said, "Screw it, I'm gonna get 2 more." I also have Triple Cyclone. I'll eventually take one out for when they get the third Lightning Storm, and then the 1 rare reboot for Trap. So that is my version of Pure Shadolls. Make sure to stay tuned in for future deck profiles for the upcoming months, because next month is gonna be a big month for us for a dual overload. I can tell you that right now. So make sure to be subscribed, click the bell for notifications, and we'll see you all next time.
Cubics!